In 1963, I arranged for American Women in Radio and Television to present Betty Friedan as a speaker. Her book, The Feminine Mystique, had just come out, and I was overwhelmed by it and sent her a thank you letter. And we had talked before her speech about the need for an organization, which she said would, she called it an NAACP for women. So I sent her a thank you letter and said, if ever you form such an organization, I'll help with the public relations. So in 1966, in the summer, when they were founding now, she called me into her wonderful apartment in the Dakota with Betty Friedan and Marlene Sanders, another pioneer in the movement, and said, okay, will you do the publicity? And I did. So for the founding conference of NOW, I did the press release and the press conference and the pictures, which are famous pictures. I do have one of those if you want to see it. And so I'm very proud that I introduced the modern women's movement to the media of the world. And I was able to use my public relations expertise for that.
Were you doing this at the same time you were working full-time at Bayer?
I did it at the same time I was working 60 hours a week for Carl Bayer. We founded NOW in 1966, so my son was 6 and my daughter was 5. Luckily, I had a wonderful, supportive husband, an internist, Dr. Shepard Aronson, and he became the first chair of the board of New York NOW. And when people said to him, Shep, what are you doing in the women's movement? He said, I want my wife to make more money. Betty Friedan was impossible. That's no secret. She was very difficult, temperamental woman, angry. But I think it's angry people who make revolutions. And she was absolutely the force behind NOW, the strategy, the energy, and many of the ideas. Plus, she went around the country giving speeches, and whenever people would praise her speech, she said, okay, start a NOW chapter. So she's the one who did it. And in later years, if I'd walk down the street with her or sit in a restaurant with her, always women would come up to her and say, you changed my life.